Just waiting for people to show up so we can have a discussion on what they think as far as driving for Amazon. If you're out there watching this live stream, um, how long have you been driving for Amazon? Um, Hello there. Okay. Chat Ray, one person. Who's in here? If you're in here, can you text or on the chat room? How long have you been driving for Amazon? Or you can state your name. Um, so we can just have a fun discussion. How you like it? Um, I've been doing it for approximately a month, and the first couple of days or the first couple blocks that I drove, um, I kid you not, I had butterflies at all times. Sometimes deciding um, if I want to do this or not. And hold on, yeah, if I wanted to keep driving, whoops, if I wanted to keep driving or not. Um, yeah, and as I kept doing more blocks, kept getting more comfortable, and now it's just piece of cake. Well, to a certain extent, obviously. Um, I know there's some routes that are easier than others, depending where what location your block is. Um, and I know the maps sometimes it doesn't update right away, and you don't know which way to go, and slows you down quite a bit. Um, and how well or how quick do you load up your vehicle? I think that is very important. Um, how you stack your packages in your vehicle. That makes a whole lot of big difference. It's very time consuming if you don't do it right in the first while you're at the station, and it can really slow you down. Um, so yeah, so when I scan, so for me, once I get there, I scan the piece of paper that's on the side. I scan that barcode, um, and then I scan the tote bags. I scan the tote bags, um, and then I start looking for the first boxes. This the little sticker says one. So I try to look for those 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 to 30, and so on. Um, so as I'm taking the boxes out of the tote bags, uh, I'll, I'll pull 1 through 10 on the side, or just put them in the front seat. Um, and then and then and then 11 to 20, I have an SUV, so I put that towards the back of the passenger seat, and so in that little corner, I'll make that the 11 through 20, and behind the driver's seat, I'll I'll put the boxes between 20 and 29 or 30. No, 20, 20 to 29. And then right behind that, I put all the 30s, 31 through 39. And then on the opposite side, way in the back, I'll do the 40s. Because most of the routes, that's 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 4 hours, and I've seen 4.5 hours. They go up to 46, 48 packages. So I'll keep the 40s way in the back. Um, so that's somehow how I set up my packages, and then because like as we all know, when we are inside the station or warehouse, we have that feeling of pressure because they try to rush you out, and if you have the time, try to set up 1 through 10 and put that in the front of your seat, in front of the passenger seat. Stack those in the passenger seat, and you will be in good shape. As you already know, for some of you that's already been doing. For the newer people, um, that goes for you. Um, and like for me, I always have this issue. I can't really remember like 1, 2, 3 where I put it or what order. I always have to keep checking and checking and checking. Um, and then especially with the envelopes because they're small and sometimes they can slide and and get confused. Slide and then you lose your place. Um, so and then once you get your first stop, um, I always do this, or most of the time I do this. I check on the app the number of the address and compare it to the package, um, and then check it and see fits the address that I'm delivering to, and I check if it's number one or which order. I always check it. I mean, it slows a bit down, and I try to remember the number of the house that I'm stopping. So this way, when I'm driving, and then even though I see it on the app, a lot of times the app or the address is where you're going to, you can't really see the house numbers, and and then even though the app tells you where to stop, sometimes it's a little bit confusing, because it can be up ahead a little bit more or back a little bit, back a few houses more. Um, so yeah, and then that kind of wastes a little bit of time, not too much, but you waste a little bit of time. Um, yeah, so I had that issue, um, but I'm getting a little bit better at it. Um, so yeah, I think everybody goes through this when we go to complex locations. Um, I know this particular complex location that I went to. I had two packages, and one package just said to go to the complex. So I'm following the map, and I'm like, where the heck do I go? So I'm driving and driving, and then I finally got to the destination. Now I grabbed the package and look at the address of the complex. So I got there, and then now I'm looking for the unit. So I identify the unit, and then when I get there, there's the gate is closed, and then like right beside the gate there's a little room. So I go in there, that's locked. I try to look for the code, no code, or maybe somehow I miss it. So I'm like, I call driver support, and this is another issue. If anyone has any issues calling driver support, comment below. Let me know what you think. Um, Half the time, I can't even understand what they're saying. Um, and I gotta put the phone really close to my ear to try to hear what they're saying. And I think they're either from I- India or one of those countries. You would figure here in the United States, but apparently it's most of the time it's somewhere in India or Pakistan or whatever those countries are. Um, so I call the driver support, and then from what I learned too, I'm sure you all go through it too. So you got to look for the code, the TBA code, and you got to give them the last four digits of that TBA code. So they'll look it up, and here's another thing. A bunch of times um, I called the customer and no answer. So and then that's when I call the the driver support. Call them, tell them what happened, and then they say, and then this last one they said, oh yeah, there's a code. So I put in the code, blah blah blah. So I got through it. I went inside. Now I'm inside that. closed in, the gated closed in area. So now I'm looking for the unit. Unit is all the way down. Then I find like 70 through 80 or 60 through 3 or something like that. So I went inside. Go inside. Go um, 3 floors. And when I get there, I can't be on too long because the phone battery is almost dead. So when I get up there, there's another package on the floor that a previous driver left there. So I get there, I'm trying to scan the package that I'm delivering. I scan the barcode, it's not going through. I'm like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? I scan a bunch of times. And the worst thing is um, that you can just leave it there because because it won't allow you to go to the next package or the next delivery location. Um, so because I don't want to come back again or return that box, that package, I end up calling again the driver support and um, and then calling, hey, listen, I'm here and and I'm here and I'm having issues when I scan the barcode, it's not reading it. Then I give her again the barcode, um, and then she calls the customer. So now I gotta wait, and then finally, then she says, "Oh, just leave it there. Just leave it there by the door." I'm like, "Okay," and I always want to make sure they clear that delivery because later on, I don't want to look in the list that I missed that delivery. So, and then I always check. I always check the delivery, make sure that's been grayed out. Um, yeah. So, and then I go to the next package, which is in the same complex. Similar issue. Um, and then like by the time I deliver, oh, so I deliver the box, and it's not scanning the barcode. And I actually went to the right unit, gave the package to the customer, and oh my God, I went through hell. Um, well, it was just a freaking mess. For that block, I probably spent in that area probably about 40 minutes, and then I told the supporter, hey, listen, I waste a lot of time here. I still have a lot of packages to deliver. I may have to go into overtime, and that's another topic I want to talk about. Um, some of you may have gone through this, and then comment your thoughts or your stories, what you went through. So so the newer people that read this or watch this video, they can have a better idea. Um, oh yeah, so when I told the drive supporter um, that I may have to go into overtime because I still have a bunch of packages left. And then she said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, that's fine." So I went through it. I finished the block, and come to realize that when I finished delivering everything, that I was still within the block time. So for that block, that time, the time frame was from 5:30 till 9:30, and I finished at 9 o'clock. Um, but here's another thing that that I'm always keeping a mind on. So for that 4 hour, 4.5 hour block, it was $84. Now, when you figure out, um, so 40, so that's $21 an hour, right? Is that correct? 41, no, 84. Yeah, I think that's about right. $21 an hour. Now it might sound okay, $21 an hour for 4 hours or 4.5 hours. It's okay. Now let me rewind back. So you always keep that in mind. Always figure out how much that block is per hour. Now here's another to keep in mind, another block, because a lot of times blocks are 3 hours or 3.5 hours, and it's $84. Those are a little bit higher per hour. The previous block, it was for $84, 3.5 hours, and I finished in 3 hours. So that's $28 an hour. I'm like, oh my god, I was so freaking happy. But like, because I guess I'm getting more used to it, and like in the beginning, the very first block I did, because I was still learning. I think I went over like an hour, hour and a half. But I mean, I want to deliver everything, and yeah, so that was a long drive. Um, so like I said, I always figure out the blocks by hours. Because like I also noticed when you get blocks that's like $100 or 120. So I had this block that was 110 $110 for the block, but I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was like 4.5 hours. So then you figure how many dollars is per hour. Um, and this was another thing that I was noticing. Sometimes they'll increase to like, so I think the average is like 3 to 3.5 hours. I think that's like an average block. So let's say a block roughly, so for $84 for 3.5 hours. But I've noticed this. Sometimes they'll increase the pay. So maybe like $90 or $90, or $100, let's say. But here's the catch: they increase the hours. So instead of 4.5, they'll increase it to 4.5 hours. And then when you do the math per hour, it comes very close to the basic, like $84 per 3.5 hours. Um, and then they may add a few more packages. So that's one thing I noticed and started realizing, the game that they played on their end. Another thing I want to touch up is, one of the blocks that I got so backed up again, which was a complex, and I went to 1 hour overtime, and then I waited like 3 days, I think, and then finally the payment came through. and I noticed they pay me $33 for that 1 hour overtime. I'm like, wow, this is really good. I hope I can do more overtime. Yeah, so I was really excited about that. And another thing that I didn't realize, your rewards, they run in, I believe, in quarters. So, because I started driving for Amazon beginning of July, I believe, and towards the end of July, that that quarter finished. That quarter finished, and I was very close reaching level two. I had like 400 something points, and then June ended, and then all those points that I had accumulated in July, it went back to zero. Oh, I was so mad because I wanted to reach level two. I was so mad. But so I think it's every 3 months it resets. It resets. So if you have like 500, 600 points, 700, 800 points, and then after those 3 months, it resets again. And also, uh, periodically, I'll check the rewards, and I'm sure a lot of you that's been doing this for a while, you go through the same thing. Whenever I see a reward that I have an error or I have a complaint, or that I was late, and then I questioned it. I call driver support and say, "Hey, listen, uh, what wh- what packages was I late?" And I'm be very honest with them and tell them, I like to know which packages I was late so I can learn from it and try to avoid that next time. They don't tell you. They don't explain it to you, which is unfair. So how you going to learn? What they do is they clear it. They clear that from your rewards. Um, so I mean, if they clear it, I guess that's a good thing. Um, and now this morning I noticed my grade. So you have the fair, great, and then fantastic, I think. So I noticed the great, and then see like a good spike. I'm like, oh wow, that's cool. But I also heard that's very hard to get fantastic. So we'll see how it goes as the time goes. How far into fantastic I can get. Um, so when you guys watch this video, I would greatly appreciate comments, your thoughts, your some of your experiences. Um, Let me know, and maybe I can learn something from you guys. I know there's a lot of people that's been driving for quite some time, and would any other pointers that that you can give, and I did my pointers that are how I do it right now, and right now I'm doing pretty good, and I'm still learning, and trying to think what else I wanted to share with you. um, yeah, because and then one time I try to think if I change, because I know there's a lot of times where you or the drivers have issues with with the maps. One time I looked into it, I changed the map, but I think you got to keep changing from delivery to delivery. So I never really switched from the default to like Waze or Google or whatever. So I stay with the default. So right now it's okay. And another thing I hate is the map doesn't refresh quick enough. So when you deliver a package and then when you hit start driving, and then like you're like, which way do I go, which way do I go this way, go that way, and it's not refreshing. So you start driving one way, and then I'm like, oh man, I gotta turn around. So I do a U-turn, and then drive the right way, and then still takes a little while to refresh. um but I guess that's how it goes. um what are the pointers? um so yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is because I still want to get a little bit better. I want to get better, improve when I load the packages into the vehicle. Sort them out quicker because I take forever. Because even like when I'm in the middle of delivering, I'll stop. I'll stop at a certain area and rearrange the packages. Um, I'll rearrange the packages and then like when you're driving, you make a turn here, you make a turn there. They're flying, they're flying all over your back, the back of your car, and then you lose. Where's this package? Where's that package? Um, but I mean, I gotta come up with better ways how to improve that area. Um, yeah. I do have an issue when I call support. You can barely hear them, and a lot of times it's those complexes that hold you back. And like the one I did yesterday, so the block was, I believe, 4.5 hours, and I finished in four. But if it wasn't for that bull crap at the complex, I could have finished that block in 3.5 hours. But it is what it is. Um, So, I mean, like, if I got used to the same route over and over and over, then I would have learned the streets. I would have learned the route. I would have learned because all complexes they're not always the same. They're different, and I always got to get better. Make sure I don't miss any codes because I know we try to speed it up. Sometimes we just don't look carefully um, for the notes that the customer gives. A lot of times I miss it, and then I just scan the barcode, take the picture, and go on to the next one. But as time goes on, I think I'll get better on that. No, yeah. So let me know what your thoughts, how you guys do it when especially the ones that's been doing this for quite some time. If you have returns, how do you do it? Do you stop a little bit early before your block time ends and return them to the station, or you wait until the block time is over and then you return them, or you return them the following day? Because if we stop at the block time and then return it to the station, we're not getting paid for that. We don't get paid for returning the packages back to the station. unless if you return under the block time. So comment below. Let me know what you guys, how you guys do it. Uh, that will be good for me. How you guys do it, or maybe you guys call driver support and tell them, listen, I still have this and that, and does it go into overtime? Yeah, so let me know that part, and also that will help also for newer drivers. And I mean, and then I wish new drivers will comment, ask questions. I will love to help and see how I do it. Um, try to think what else. Yeah, I think the most important, I said a few times, is I think that's the key. Oh, and another thing I want to touch bases with, because it has helped me several times. Um, I st- when I first started, when I'm still in the station, what I started doing is while I'm still waiting, I'm in the vehicle, I'm just waiting for them to give the okay to start driving off. I record the screen. I record the screen and I go through all the list that I have to deliver. Everything from the list, the map, and the summary. I record all that. And then lately, the last 2 to 3 the blocks, I'll wait to the last one before I deliver the last one. Then I'll do the recording. I'll record all the lists that I have to deliver. In case later on you need to find out which address you had an issue with, you whatever. So here's um one example. Um, the second to last block I did, it was 3:30 in the morning till like 7, I think. So um, on one of the houses that I was delivering to, like here's the wall here, here's the wall here, and I was walking here, and I turned up the stairs. Just before I got the stairs, the bottom was uneven, and because it was still kind of dark and was still even, and I tripped and fell. And when I fell, right over here, I fell on top of the edge of the cement stair. I mean, it's getting a lot better. It's getting a lot better. I was at least laying down over the steps for a good minute before I got up. So when I got up, uh, then I finished climbing up the stairs, went up to the door, and scanned the package, took a picture. And what I noticed was that they didn't have a ring camera, just in case if they had a camera then and see if they had a camera then they could have see my phone, but I don't think they had a camera. But so after that all that happened, and then I just went about my delivery. So later on the day, and then I'm started feeling my arm, and then I'm like, damn, it's feels pain here. I'm like, damn it, I should have took a picture of it, and I didn't. But I called the driver support and told them the incident. I highly encourage people to do that. If you don't do it right away, try to do it as soon as possible. Um, so later on, when I decided to follow up on the form, and then I'm like, how am I going to get the number of that house where I fell? Now here's what I did. Because I record all the deliveries. I knew more. I knew the house. I knew it was a small package, so I knew the yeah. So I look at the list, and then I started like on the 10th delivery, and then I started writing all the addresses. I wrote all the addresses, uh, and then I googled it on Google Maps. I googled it, and I found the house where I fell. I found it. I took like two or three pictures, and you can see, and you can see in the picture that's the bottom of that ground, that it was uneven. But it was a little hard to tell because it was kind of dirty leaves, so you couldn't really see it. What I saw when I tripped. So that's another thing for everybody to keep that in mind. So if you guys want to record the screen like I do, I can do it right at the station or before your last one. Just record the screen and record all the lists. 'Cause you just never know. You never know what you might need to go back to a house or whatever. Um, and then I don't know if any of you's. I got 10 more percent on the battery. Um, I don't know if any of you saves. I don't know if save the guest receipts. I'm saving the guest receipts, and then maybe I can claim how much I spent in gas, and I'm also saving this. I'm also saving this. Um, that's on the rack. I'm also saving that, and it might come in handy, or it might not. Who knows? Um, I don't know what else to think of. If Yeah, so I encourage anyone that watches this video to write your comments, write any ideas, stories, what you want to share with me. Maybe I learn from somebody that's been doing a lot longer than me, uh, how to how to load your vehicle better, or for the newer people. And let's all help each other out, and that's it. And hopefully, if I get a lot of hits on this video, maybe I'll do another video later on. I always thought I wanted to do a live streaming while I'm delivering. I always wanted to do that, but maybe someday I'll do it. Who knows? So till then, I'll see you all next time. Thank you again. Happy driving, and hopefully you can subscribe to my channel, Politics of Deception. Share, like, subscribe, and stay safe, drive safe, and take care. Come on.